I want to talk about penis envy and pussy envy. This is a big thing. I talk about dom sub dynamics, I talk about sociosexual dynamics, I talk about masculine feminine dynamics. A lot of it's about dynamics, right? A big thing to understand is V equals V, P can equal P, or equals P or P, right? So, what does that mean? That means vagina equals value. Vagina equals value. That means to most average men, most average women, regardless of who they are, having sex with them is inherently going to mean some type of value, regardless of how good or skilled she is with it. I'm not talking about us alpha nigga. I'm not talking about that kind of shit. I'm not talking about the dominant niggas. I'm not talking about masculine men. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is to the average man who's going to sleep with 9 women in his lifetime. Sleeping with any woman is an accomplishment, so it inherently has value. Because of that, a nigga is so excited to get it that usually when they get it, they be ready to bust up in it, even if it ain't good, even if she ain't attractive, right? But penis equals power or prostitution. Hear me out. Hear me out. Power or provision. It might be a better term. Power or provision. So, if penis equals power or provision, what that really means is that a penis is either going to be someone who's providing some type of resource, whether it's financial, whether it's emotional, whether it's security, energy, whether it's attention and validational. It's some type of resource that's being shared, that when that woman receives enough, she provides some pussy, right? Which means that that woman does engage in some form of sex work by sleeping with someone who doesn't sexually turn her on. Some of this is socially acceptable, like long-term monogamy and marriage, and through the modern dating perspective, or through more of a traditional dating perspective, which is why I'm not a fan of traditional dating, although I do believe in sexual polarity. She's trading something for her body, which means she probably has experience being sexually repressed, or she has experience with separating sex from emotions in that particular type of way, which means she may have low self-esteem, low resources, or low internal emotional value, low inherent value to herself, right? Or it could be a situation where it's a penis that has power, right? Now, what does that mean? And this is based off of a somewhat misandrous point of view, that looking at society, most men are not seen as sexually desirable just for the sake of being sexually desirable. Sex for sex sake with most men does not sound attractive to most women. You can see that just through the statistics of the likes to dislike ratios on Tinder. You can just, the left to right swipes, men to women, look it up, look up the stats, you'll see it's a completely different thing. Or power, which would be sexually dominant men. Those are men who give a woman vaginal orgasms, multiple vaginal orgasms through penetration, right? Or it's a guy who is, doing that type of thing, getting the woman to do whatever. Either one of those can be kind of red flaggy for a guy. I'm not saying it's always this case. I'm not somebody who personally judges body count like that. But I am saying that from the sake of perspective, whether it's a man or a woman dealing with a man or a woman, either a man or a woman both get credit for sleeping with a woman. Neither a man or a credit get credit for sleeping with a man, because it's too easy. It's too easy. But not only because it's too easy, it's because if it's too easy, then it's some type of provision, whether that's attention or anything. And if it's not that, then it's somebody who have power who can take that woman beyond a place where you feel you're competent enough to take her. Which means that she will be more inclined to put you into the P as provision category, which means you wouldn't be privy to all of the same sexual and emotional resources that a man who she felt that way about would. But this is where penis privilege and pussy privilege comes in. Pussy privilege is when men are constantly complaining about how women get free shit just because they're a woman. Getting in the club for free. Getting out of certain, legal issues. Having the ability to have their way in the court systems with the families. Having the ability to walk around without, what do you call that shit? Dealing with as much no, scratch that. See, another thing is that when it comes to pussy privilege, it's just guys who envy things that women can do that men typically can't do. One of those things is like selling their body. The thing is this: men can do those things too. Most of those things a man can do. You know what I mean? If you keep track of signs of your baby mother not being a competent mother, you can get custody, right? If you document it and you keep your nose clean, you do what you're supposed to do, and you're taking care of business, especially if she's showing how crazy she is. It may not always work, but if you put a good case together, a lot of places will let you get your children. If you are mad at women because they can commodify their bodies for resources, you can do the same thing, man. Listen, I'm gonna tell you some real shit. Some good dick will get you through some hard times. It shouldn't have to. It shouldn't, but it can, and it will when you need it to. Get you through some sticky situations. I try not to move like that no more though, but it be like that sometimes, right? When you're in those type of situations, you got to look at life and say, well, how did I get here, and then not go there no more. But what I will say is this: if you're a man and you want to commodify your body, or you enjoy getting a certain level of treatment from women, like women paying for dates, be sexually desirable. Learn how to exude sexual, masculine, dominant energy naturally. Learn how to soak into your masculinity, to get into your primal energy. Learn how to soak into that. Learn how to get into a stoic mindset where you can be within yourself without getting bored. Learn to soak into that. All right? As you learn to soak into those things and to be present within yourself, and then present within your sexual urges and your desires, and then you're able to feel the energy of other people around you, you develop your mouthpiece. You get comfortable. The energy comes first. Then all the words you learn, because if you listen to me, you don't listen to hella words already. You learn the right words for you, and really it's just about being honest with yourself and not lying to a woman. Like, listen, you sexy to me. Listen, you can just start. You can just start with that. Listen, you're sexy to me. And then maybe show that you recognize something about her outfit, or just something about her. So it's not like you just coming out here with a pickup line. You out here, no, you really observed. In the few seconds it took for you to walk up to her, you already done noticed. You done checked her out, right? But then you just spit some game to her, and you just let her know, I'm trying to fuck you. Like, I know you think it's funny and all, but Like, your thighs gonna fuck around and be my earmuffs. Keep playing with me. Like, you let it know. Like, you let it be known. And you set it up. You set it up and you get it done. And if you do your thing right, she gonna be trying to spend some money on you. I'm just telling you some real nigga shit. Now, you got a real woman with you. Y'all reciprocate with each other. But you still want her to feel willing to do it at all. You know what I mean? Y'all reciprocate with each other. It's not just about having a woman just taking care of you either. But then women, what they tend to do is when the women get penis envy, they start to be worried about things like trying to be in control, trying to assign their idea of what it means to be successful off of what it means to be her mind, what it means to be a successful man. And then she becomes intolerable, a little bitchy, not real fun to talk to or be around. And she gets so caught up in the idea of wanting to be in control of not being in control, when really what she wants to do is be in control. That's some penis envy. Oh, I can do it too. Even as a man who doesn't judge women for their body counts like that, I do think that that's a stupid argument to saying it's a double standard. Body counts is not a double standard. I just don't think that it's smart for a man to judge a woman by that, because if he's judging a woman by that, then it's going to cause a woman to want to shell up with him, not really tell him what she's actually done in her life, want to lie to him about how many women could pick up that energy when you're sexually judgmental, and they ain't going to tell you the truth. So when that's the case, you just put yourself in a bad spot. You know what I mean? I'd rather the devil I know instead of the devil I don't know. But body counts is not the same. Just like I said about P can equal P or P, and V equals V. They say that a man who sleeps with women is celebrated, while a woman who sleeps with multiple men is put down. But the truth is this: most of the time, in the eyes of a woman, a man who sleeps with multiple men is put down. And in the eyes of multiple men, a woman who sleeps with women is more attractive. Because both men and women get judged for sleeping with men. It's not just a matter of, see, this is what I mean when I talk about masculine and feminine dynamics. People don't understand reciprocal analogies. People look at things from a standpoint of symmetry instead of looking at things from a standpoint of polarity. Symmetry and polarity are two different things. The whole time people thought I was judging people's body counts to say that they judged women for who they slept with, but they didn't judge men for who they slept with. Nah. Everybody gets judged differently for sleeping with multiple men. Especially if your mindset is to be with most typical people who plan to be in a monogamous relationship. Most heterosexual people who want to be in a monogamous relationship. Not all. Some people are cool as fuck. Some people are open-minded. Some people ain't worried about all that shit. You know what I mean? I'm one of the people who's not all that worried about all that shit. But at the same time, most are, so I can't sit there and pretend that most aren't. But that's typically how it goes. It's just like the movie Chasing Amy, right? I thought one thing that was interesting, I do want to talk about this when it comes to Chasing Amy before I get off of here. Chasing Amy trips me out because when I hear people talk about the movie, they get upset at the guy for how he reacted at the end. And the fact that he tried to make it right by developing and fulfilling a fantasy. That was some bullshit. This is the truth. The girl could have been honest about how she was working, how she was moving before she let dude get all invested thinking he was the only dude. She knew. She knew that him thinking that she wasn't that kind of girl would played an aspect and played a part in why he was so interested in trying to woo her. She knew that. So when the truth came out, she got exposed for it. And he had to deal with emotional trauma he wasn't used to dealing with. It's just the story of past theory, right? What I usually say when I say past theory is, don't give women passes for not being sexually available to you, because whatever reason she gives you could be fake. Then you'll feel like you were cheated. If you do all that time investing energy and shit thinking that it's going to change, or that's not how she is, you'll be very sadly mistaken. My allergies acting up. So let's say in this movie what was going on is that she told him that she was lesbian. She never been with a guy. So he spent all these months pursuing her, trying to get at her, thinking that she was a virgin when it came to men. Keep in mind, she knew that they had a part in it, or she wouldn't have lied. If it doesn't matter, why lie? Right? So, after he had already fallen in love with her, and they finally began a sexual relationship, when she was trying to shoot him off at the beginning, so he should have been left because she wasn't fucking with him like that. After, they were finally in love and all this shit, somebody calls her by an old nickname, which indicated that she used to like to let guys run trains on her. Right? She used to let dudes run trains on her back in high school. And then she was known for being pretty promiscuous with not just one man, but multiple men at the same time. This fucked dude's head up. The reason it fucked his head up is because when he invested that time ahead of time, because he thought she wasn't that kind of girl, to find out that she was, could make him feel like his penis, belonged on the side of provision versus her naturally just really liking him and desiring him on that type of level. That fucked his head up because it changes your expectations. If she was honest and upfront about it, he may not have pursued her that way, or he may have, but at least he been able to make that choice for himself. I say make that choice and just don't give him a pass. If they not fucking with you like that, just leave them alone, because it's not worth it most of the time. If it is, just go every day you think of her, or every week think, I'm gonna assume she fucked 3 niggas and sucked some dick this week. I just hope she respected me enough to brush her teeth before she kissed me. That's what you got to think. And then weigh the options in your mind before you go see her and have a date with her. That she probably sucked some dick earlier today, and maybe last night too. But I don't care about that because I really want to just spend time with her. See, that's how you deal with those type of situations if you decide you want to go down that road. You really got to think about it like, this does not make her obligated to shit with me, even if she's lying. Right? Because that's what it gets you fucked up. That's what it gets you real feeling upset, like your heart falling in your ass. It's your expectation, thinking that you can put a woman on a box of being a Madonna, soothing your Madonna whore complex. Nah, you gotta assume the worst. You gotta assume the worst. Because some dudes, they try to play on the fence and don't want to, they act like they don't know whether or not their penis is provisional or power. They don't know. That's on them. I'm Q the Bug with you.